Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only 4D education service, the 4D Destroyer. I am not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. Excuse me. We don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. We simply advocate that you made them in private and you raise them in private. Okay? And today, what I want to talk to you about is the driver's license reinstatement gives them personal jurisdiction over you. Okay, and all right, I personally receive, a week about 1,000, probably more than 1,000 emails. All right, I can't say what percentage it is, but I get a high percentage saying, "Osiris, they suspended my driver's license." Okay, good. Now that they suspended the driver's license, you can go back to exercising your right to travel. Okay. That's why we don't offer services here. And I get people all the time, can you help me? No, that's what you don't want is a driver's license. Okay. But so here's how it works. Either you're going to pay 2 ways. All right. Either you're going to hire some buffoon, all right, to write up some BS document, which probably didn't work anyway, or you're going to go down and pay whatever, and then get your shit reinstated. Now, if you're using the roads commercially, that is overstood. If you're not using the roads commercially, you do not need a driver's license. All right, if you're going to be driving a taxi cab, a bus, some type of dump truck, when you're using the road for commercial purposes, the law does require a driver's license, which is fine. No big deal. Okay. It still gives them jurisdiction over you. All right. It sucks, but it is what it is. You got to make a living. All right. I'm not knocking it. All right. But the reason why you don't want to get the driver's license reinstated is very simple. All right. Because when you get a driver's license, that gives them personal jurisdiction. Let's look at a case law. Okay. It is impossible to prove jurisdiction exists absent a substantial nexus with the state, such as a voluntary subscription to a license. You notice the word voluntary is underlined there. All jurisdictional facts supporting claim that supposed jurisdiction exists must appear on the record of a court. If you don't have a driver's license, then that removes the nexus between you and the state. They call that contacts or minimum contacts. Okay. If the less contact you have with the state, the less authority the state has over you. Okay. Now, let's look at another document. And this is the basis of personal jurisdiction. All right, this is from Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're going to go down to number 9. All right, and all states have these, gentlemen. You just have to find them. Number 9, making an application. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me read this. Section A, general rule. A tribunal of this Commonwealth may exercise personal jurisdiction over a person or the personal representative of a deceased individual who would be subject to the jurisdiction under this subsection if not deceased, who acts directly or by agent as to a cause of action or other matter arising from such person. Now, number 9, making application to any government unit for any certificate, license, permit, registration, or similar instrument or authorization, or exercising any such instrument or authorization. When you go and apply for a driver's license, gentlemen, you threw yourself under the bus. Okay? When you pay somebody to get your driver's license reinstated, that person threw you under the bus. They didn't do you any favors. All right? Let's get back to it. All right. If you go, remember, gentlemen, your rights do not come from the Constitution, but if you look at the words very carefully, you'll see why driver's license, this reinstatement scam, it's not helping you, it's hurting you. Okay? Later for driver's license reinstatement, all right, where's the case dismissal? That's what you want. You want the case dismissed. Then after that, it's cool beans. You want to go and throw yourself under the jurisdiction and knock yourself out, get a driver's license. Okay? Now, Article 1, Section 1, Bill of Rights, inherent rights of mankind. All men are by nature equal, free, and independent. All right? By nature, God, men, the adult male of the human species above the age of puberty. All right? It says inherent rights of mankind. It does not say inherent rights of drivers or persons or individuals. Now, free. not subject to the legal constraint of another, unconstrained, having the power to follow the dictates of his own free will. Not with a driver's license, you ain't. With a driver's license, you are subject to the motor vehicle code. You are subject to the legal constraint of another. You are not unconstrained, and you do not have the power to follow the dictates of your own free will if you have a driver's license or if you have applied for one. All men are independent. Independent means not dependent, not subject to control, restriction, modification, or limitation from any given outside sources. That ain't you. You got a driver's license, which makes you what? Dependent. All right, right here. Deriving existence, support, or direction from another, condition in respect to force upon an extraneous act or fact. Extraneous, with reference to a contract, deed or will, or any writing. Extraneous evidence is such as it is not furnished by the document itself, but is derived from outside sources, the same as evidence. All right, all it is wording, gentlemen. So, are you independent or are you dependent? All right, you're all dependent. Okay, people who make these YouTube videos are dependent. They have driver's license, they have vehicle registrations. Okay, how can someone teach you how to be free and they're not free themselves? Okay, stop being bamboozled out here. You got government agents trying to suck you back into the system, out here acting like they're YouTubers. Okay, which is fine and dandy. All right, that's why we're deception stoppers. See, we know what we're talking about here. We know that. 30 years of experience, all right, teaches us that. Okay, law library, got my own. Case laws. I use the same, what do you call that, programs and subscriptions that the lawyers use. I can find any case law you want. Okay, just because someone reads a case law does not mean it has not been overturned. All right, there's tons of case laws, but for today's purposes, what we're going to be talking about is this driver's license reinstatement scam. Okay, that's not, yeah. Right, so when you renew your driver's license, you just threw yourself under the bus. Okay, you're no longer, when you went and applied, guess what? You're no longer free. You're no longer independent. If you got a driver's license in your pocket, you are dependent. Okay, you waived your immunity. You waived your sovereign immunity. See, states can't be sovereign. States don't get sovereign immunity. Because why? Because all states are corporations. Okay? Corporations are not immune from prosecution. All right, and it trips me out how people say, "Oh, they get immunity." You get no immunity. All right, states are not immune, and I'll show you that in a minute. All right, but here's some Supreme Court examples. All right, the right of the people to travel upon the public highways and to transport one's property thereon, either by carriage or automobile, is not a mere privilege, which a city may prohibit or permit at will, but a common right, which he/she has under the right to liberty, to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Here's the case law, gentlemen. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. All right. Here's the Pennsylvania Consolidated Statutes, Title I, PA Consolidated Statutes, subsection 1999. Highway, a way or place of whatever nature, open to the use of the public as a matter of right for the purpose of vehicular travel. Don't say nothing about no privilege. All right. It doesn't say anything about a privilege. I'm not going to go into commercial and everything, because if you're driving commercially, yes, you must have a license. Okay, and you can look that up on 49 USC 5102 under commerce. Okay, so if you're using the roads commercially, yes, their law does require a license. Okay, now look, note, driving, driver are commercial contractual terms, while traveling, and traveler is a non-commercial term for the use of an automobile, not for hire, but simply locomotion from one place to another for purely personal reasons, and therefore not subject to the Commercial Motor Vehicle Code as an act of transportation and expression designating a commercial activity. If you're not using the roads for commerce, you do not need a driver's license. You have a right to use that road. Okay, but some people will tell you different. See, if what cracks me up is people out there taking your money to get your driver's license reinstated. Either they know this, right, and they're scamming you, or they're an ignorant bastard and don't know any better. All right, you pick one. Okay, let's keep it moving. Some more case laws. All right. Oh, here's another here's another term. Drive. One employed in conducting or operating a coach, carriage, wagon, or other vehicle. And here's some case laws, and this came from Black's Law's Dictionary. All right. Only commercial contractual agreements can compel specific performance, aka the terms of penalties embodied in a contract. No statutory duty lies to apply for or possess a driver's license for personal travel and transportation as defendant is not within the class of person for whose benefit or protection the statute was enacted. Ralph versus Quinn. Courts also recognize that private travel is a fundamental right. The right to travel on a public highway is a constitutional right. Tech Lines versus Danforth. The right to travel is a part of liberty that, I hate this word, citizen cannot be deprived without due process of law. Kent versus Doles. Okay? The use of the highway for the purpose of travel and transportation is not a mere privilege, but a common and fundamental right, which the public and the individual cannot be rightfully deprived. Chicago Motor Coach versus Chicago. Laguerre versus Chicago. Boone versus Clark. There's tons of case law that prove that you don't need a driver's license, but yet somebody is taking your money, telling you, yeah, give me $500, $1,200, and I'll get your driver's license back, and then want to get on YouTube and do a testimony about the shit. Operation of a motor vehicle upon public streets and highways is not a mere privilege, but is a right or liberty protected by the guarantees of the federal and state constitution. Adams versus City of Pocatello. The right of the citizen, again, I hate that word, to travel upon public highways and the transportation property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile is not a mere privilege, which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Slusher versus Safety Coach Transit Company. The claim and exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime. Miller versus United States. The right to travel is a part of liberty of which citizens cannot be deprived. Kent versus Dawes. Okay. Here, the high courts have put even more clearly where a private statute exists of which the intent is regulation of commercial common carriers, the particular agency enforcing that private statute shall not apply it by trickery and deceit to persons who are not noticed by the statutes as persons regulated and taxed, nor should it permit any party to do so in violation of the person's right to stay out of compelled license contract when he is not a person subject to the statute. State versus Everchart. Okay, so number one, licenses ain't free. Okay, and no state can make you buy their product. Okay, number two, traveling on the road is a right. It is not a privilege. Driving on the road is a privilege. Driving is a privilege, but traveling is not. So therefore, if anybody out there has paid somebody, all right, to allegedly get your driver's license reinstated, all right, if I was you, I'd go back to that person and say, I want my money back. You just threw me under the bus. You just threw me back into the system. Okay? You have to know your words. Okay? Now, this has, under federal law, the feds give the state, authorization to suspend the driver's license for lack of 4D payments, which is fine. But if you ain't got one, how can, all right, so you're going to suspend my privilege. You can't suspend your right to travel. Okay? See, we don't do driver's license here. All right, I ain't had a driver's license I don't know how long, and I travel all over this country. And I have been pulled over multiple times. How come you ain't got a driver's license? All right, quote me the law that says I have to go and pay $37 or whatever they cost for a driver's license. And if I don't pay that $37 for that driver's license, then I'm subject to criminal penalties. No. Don't work that way. And usually the concubines that I've traveled with that have seen me deal with these people are like, damn, I thought we was going to jail. Going to jail for what? We ain't committed no crime. All right, we're traveling. Now, of course, it turns from one cop, it goes into 10. Oh, it's a sovereign citizen. No, I'm not. I'm definitely no citizen, but I am sovereign. All right, I am a king in my own land. See, like I said in my post, we don't rent here. We own. See, we own property outright. We own land. We own a lot of things. All right, but we don't own any government contracts unless the government is going to pay me to do something for them. All right, that's a whole other thing. All right, but okay, what the problem is you don't need a driver's license. All right, so quit whining about your driver's license being suspended. All right, these testimony videos out here about driver's license getting reinstated. All right, all you've done was throw yourself under the bus. See, when the driver's license gets suspended, guess what? That's your prelude to get out of the system, because the less contact that you have with the system, the less personal jurisdiction they get over you. See, most of y'all go in there and you try, oh, I want to challenge jurisdiction. You got a driver's license and it's a wrap. They already got personal jurisdiction over you. That's why I never lose court cases. It's that, all right, show me minimal contact between me and this corporation. You ain't got one, which means you ain't got no authority. I'm still free. And more importantly, I'm still independent. Okay? You, gentlemen, are dependent. You're no longer free if you're holding a driver's license. You're no longer free if you go to the state and apply for something. I know for a fact. Matter of fact, I got the license plate number, the vehicle registration number, and the license number to somebody who's on YouTube trying to sell this garbage. All right? Not dependent. Okay? So on one hand, I got people over here saying we never been on child support. So how can you take people off child support if you've never been on it? And then the other hand, we got people over here saying, oh, well, we're getting driver's license reinstated. All right, which tells us that you're not helping. You're the root of the problem. Just imagine if everybody in this country took the license plates off their car, took the driver's license back, all right, and there was one central depository, and you threw that shit up in the dump truck, right? And then at the end of however long it would take, all right, those dump trucks go and they dump them license plates, vehicle registrations, and driver's license back on the lawn or the parking lot of the motor vehicle corporation. Okay, what do you think would happen? You think they're going to look? They ain't got enough pigs out there to be stopping everybody. Those pigs, what's going to happen is it's going to shut the system down. You are the ones who are keeping it in business. The people who are selling driver's license reinstatements for $500 and $1,200 are keeping the system in place. Okay, we ain't about that bullshit here. We about shutting it down. We about leaving. Look, you leave us alone, Mr. Government, and we won't bother you. Okay, that's how we live over here. Okay, we're free. We're not subject to anything. All right. So if you ain't got a driver's license, you can't get a ticket, because a driver's license is a contract between you and the motor vehicle corporation agreeing to the provisions of the motor vehicle code. All right. Now, it doesn't mean that you go out there, if the speed limit is 30, then do 30. If the light turns yellow, slow down, prepare to stop. The sign says stop, stop. Those are there for safety. And I don't have a problem with that. Okay, I got one of the fastest cars on the planet. All right, and when I get on these turnpikes, let me tell you something, man. You talking about tearing up some asphalt? I gets it in. Okay, I gets it in. My shit will do a minimum of 225 miles an hour. One of my toys. All right. But I don't need no driver's license to get behind the wheel and use it to go where I need to go, or, take whatever I got to take. It ain't registered. All right. Now, I do have an account for liability in case an accident happens. All right. I have money in the trust. Okay. Well, if it's my fault, here, bam. How much? All right. Pay for the damage. No big deal. All right, I keep financial responsibility. I think that's only fair. All right, I don't have a problem with that. But guess what? It ain't no state-sanctioned insurance. Something happens, I can pay. All right, that's what happens when you're well paid. See, and that's what happens when you're smart. All right, so the driver's license reinstatement. puts you back into the system. So all these videos that I've seen about these driver's license reinstatement is pathetic. All right. You're hurting people by doing so. I'm the Amin Osiris. Okay. If you need to learn some 4D techniques, you can bang my email at 4D_destroyer at yahoo.com. And incidentally, gentlemen, the new website is under construction. All right, it is going to be more powerful than ever. It's trust me, it's cost me an arm, leg, and a couple of toes. But when we get done with it, all right, it is there for your benefit, and it is there. You'll be able to go there, all right, and learn. Okay, get case laws, all right, and get yourself out of this 4D crime family chicanery. Stop tripping about the driver's license, gentlemen, and know your rights. If you knew your rights, you could. Nobody out there on YouTube can rip you off. Okay. And at $1,200 a pop, goddamn, or 500, whatever they're charging for a driver's license. Listen, more than likely, if you really want your driver's license that bad, all right, check this out. Don't go pay some dumbass to get it back for you. Just go down there. Look, all they want is money. Just go down there and ask them how much. Because either or, if you're gonna pay a dumbass, you're gonna pay the devil. You know which one? You want it back that bad? Your best bet, just go pay the devil. Leave the dumbasses alone. Okay? Know your rights. Know your status on this planet. Okay? Know the limitations of this corporation that you call the government. And more importantly, the less you deal with government and their documents and licensings and registration, the better off your life will be. Yes? All right. If you don't know your shit, yes, you will get taken out of a car and get put in handcuffs. All right, and you come back and you fight it in court and you win, and then you turn around and you sue for false imprisonment and false arrest. All right. In order to sue, you have to prevail in a 4D case. Or excuse me, not 4D case, but in a court case. All right? And trust me, I know. I sue people for a living. And that's why I'm able to buy, all right, cars that can travel up to 225 miles an hour that most people couldn't afford. All right? Know your shit. Okay? There's the government plays on your ignorance, and so do a lot of other people playing on your ignorance. All right? Stop being ignorant. Stop ignoring the facts. Get your facts correct. Go to the state statutes or whatever, and look up their words and definitions. Look up how they get personal jurisdiction over you. It tells you in broad language. All right? It tells you in broad language how they get personal jurisdiction with you, over you. All right? Getting insurance, anything. The ownership of property, anything. All right, this is how they get jurisdiction over you. They got so many different ways. But when you switch it to the private sector, that changes things. All right, that changes things a lot. So, for those of you who wasted your time getting up there giving those testimonies, those little commercials, so people can make more money, you need to quit. All right, and to whoever is you think I'm talking to, believe it or not, it actually ain't you. But if you want to take it that way, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, these are the facts. See, nobody's teaching you this. See, right? I'm teaching you this so nobody could take advantage of you. Okay? Because you've been taken advantage of enough. And now you got a bunch of hyenas out there circling around you. All right, and you're desperate and you're just giving people money to do whatever. And you got to stop doing that. You got to get your mind right. Okay? You got to stop being ignorant. All right? Again, if you have a commercial driver's license, this does not apply to you. All right? Overstood. All right? Get the case dismissed, and the driver's license threats and all that other stuff goes away. All right, don't just pay to get the driver's license reinstated. All right, if you're going to hire somebody to terminate the case and help you terminate that case. That's what has to happen. All right, that's the only way that you're going to free yourself. And until then, all right, until people become free and independent, you will stay dependent. And as long as you stay dependent, the 4D crime family and the government is always going to have their boot on your neck. Okay? You got people out there, like I said, that are dependent. Driver's license, registration, state sanctioned insurance. Ain't helping nobody. Couldn't beat their way out of a wet paper bag. I'm Osiris. We are Deception Stoppers, the 4D Destroyers. You have learned today of this driver's license reinstatement scam. All right. Just stop using it. You stop doing what you're doing. You stop getting what you're getting. The less you apply for this garbage in government, the less authority that they have over you. Hotep.